Okay, boys and girls, now we are going to listen to Jamaica's Blue Marker, and we are going to really pay close attention to the character. We want to see, how does the character feel? What happens? What is she doing? What is she saying? And pay close attention to what is making her make her decisions about what she's doing today. Okay, so enjoy the book. I'm going to stop throughout and just make a few comments and see what you think. Okay, here we go.
Jamaica closed her eyes and thought about her picture. Mrs. Worth always said to think first, then draw. Jamaica opened her eyes and drew a tree on her big sheet of paper. Then she drew leaves falling off the tree and colored them yellow. Jamaica, Mrs. Worth said, could you please share your markers with Russell? He doesn't have any. He never has anything he needs, thought Jamaica. But she said, okay, even though she didn't want to share her markers with him.
So let's take a quick look at Jamaica right now and think about, how do you think Jamaica is feeling right now? How do you think she's feeling? Look at her face. Look at her expression. She's giving her feelings right through her expression. To me, she looks like maybe she's a little concerned, maybe apprehensive. Apprehensive means she doesn't know. She doesn't know if she wants to. She said that she didn't want to up here. She didn't want to share her markers, but she was going to with this little boy. So let's see what happens.
Russell brought his paper to Jamaica's table. He sat down beside her and grabbed her blue marker. Jamaica picked up her brown and orange markers to finish her picture. She didn't pay any attention to Russell. After a while, she peeked at his paper. Russell was making squiggly circles all over his page. We're supposed to draw a fall picture, Russell, Jamaica said. Who says? Mrs. Worth, don't you ever listen? I don't have to. Russell reached out with the blue marker and made a streak across Jamaica's picture. Russell, stop, Jamaica shouted, but Russell scribbled all over Jamaica's yellow-leafed tree. Mrs. Worth, Jamaica cried, Russell wrecked my picture.
So, how do you think she looks now and why? Think for a second. Just think. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I agree that she looks sad. She looks sad now. And she's actually telling her teacher what she did, what the little boy did to her picture that she was working so hard on. And that just wasn't right. And her teacher just said, I'm sorry. And of course, the little boy got to work alone. And then Jamaica still had her picture. So let's see what happens next.
Mrs. Worth hurried over to their table. Russell, did you do this? She held up Jamaica's picture. Mrs. Worth couldn't get Russell to say, I'm sorry. He had to go sit alone and work on spelling until art was over. Look what Russell did, Jamaica showed her father and brother when she got home. I tried, but I couldn't make another one as good as this. When she looked at the ugly blue squiggles, she had to swallow hard not to cry. Russell is a mean brat. Did you tell Mrs. Worth what happened? Her father asked. Jamaica nodded. Russell can't use my markers again. I shared with him because he didn't have any. He never has what he's supposed to have. But that's no reason to be mean. No, her father said. Russell shouldn't have messed up your picture.
Okay, so now on each page, she's showing a little something different. Now she's getting angry. She seems to be getting angry because her picture was ruined and she didn't have time to redo it. So she's going through a lot of changes in this book, this character. This main character, Jamaica, is going through a lot of changes. Let's see what happens.
The next time they had art, Jamaica was glad Russell didn't sit at her table. Then he couldn't bother her, and she didn't have to share her markers with him either. But at recess, Russell threw sand at her and chased two second-grade girls, so he had to go to the office. Before he came back, Mrs. Worth said, "I would like to tell you something. Can you keep a secret?" "Yes," Jamaica shouted with her classmates. "We're going to have a going away party for Russell on Friday. His father has a new job in another town. They will be moving over the weekend. I thought that you might like to make cards to say goodbye. Then Russell will have something to remember us by." Mrs. Worth passed out paper. Then she showed everyone how to fold the paper into a card. Jamaica didn't want to make a card for Russell. She was glad he was moving. Then he wouldn't bother her anymore. She put the paper in her desk. At supper, Jamaica said, "I like living here. I like my house and my room and the tree in the front yard. I like my school, too." "I'm glad you do," her mother said. "I wouldn't like to move." "Who said anything about moving?" Ossie asked. "Russell is moving," Jamaica said. "Lucky you. He won't mess up your pictures anymore," Ossie said. "I wonder how Russell feels about moving," Dad said. "He might be upset. Has he talked about it?" "Russell doesn't say anything. He just gets in trouble," Jamaica said.
So now she seems to be happy because he's moving. Russell is moving, so she feels like, oh, this is good. She feels relieved that now he won't pick on her anymore. He won't throw sand. He won't mess her pictures. He won't borrow her markers. I wonder what's going to happen next, since she put the card in her desk and she did not fill it out yet.
Russell didn't come to the classroom on Friday morning. He was with his mother in the office. Jamaica looked at his empty desk. Next week, Russell would be gone. He wouldn't be at his desk ever again. She decided to make a card for Russell. She got out the blank card and her markers, too. But just then, Mrs. Worth said, "Who are my helpers this week?" Jamaica raised her hand. "Jamaica, could you collect the cards and put them in Russell's desk? Brianna and Thomas, I'd like for you to clear the activity table for the plates and cups." Jamaica went from desk to desk to pick up the cards. She put the whole stack on Russell's desk. As she closed his desk, Russell came in with his mother. The party started. They played games for a while and ate cake. Russell opened his desk and took out all the cards. "Look, Mom, everybody made a card for me." Not everybody, Jamaica thought. She took the blue marker out of her marker bag. Then she ran up to Russell. "This is for you, Russell." She handed him the marker. "You can use it at your new school." "But you might need it," he said. "You like to draw. You draw the best pictures in the class. What if you have to color the sky?" "Someone will share with me." "Thanks," he said. "You're lucky. You get to stay here." Now Jamaica knew how Russell felt about moving. "I wish you didn't have to move," she said. When Jamaica waved goodbye to Russell, she noticed that his mother was carrying his goodbye cards. Russell held up the blue marker and waved it at her as if he'd won a prize. "Goodbye, Russell. I'll miss you," Jamaica said, and she meant it. The end.
Okay, so we realized that Jamaica had a lot of different feelings during that book, from the beginning where she was like, I really don't want to do this, to, oh, I'm so sorry that I did that, because she got angry because she got sad, and then she got angry, and then she found out that he was moving, and she was happy and everybody else was happy. But then when she realized that he was probably not happy himself, and then she felt bad about not finishing her card. So she decided, instead of writing a card, which was too late, or drawing, she gave him that blue marker. And that's the one that's missing on the last page from her bag of markers. So she changed a lot. That character changed a lot during the story. And you'll realize that as you get into these higher level books, that the character or characters change throughout the story. Well, I hope you enjoyed this because I know I did. And these Jamaica books, and there's so many of them. I hope you really enjoyed this one. All right. Bye for now.